Hello, I'm Akito9323 and today I'm going to talk about, well, my dislike of Mega Evolution in Pokemon. I think I may have done this again before, in an older video, but, well, there's just a lot to say about it, for one. First is that unlike Mega Level in Digimon, it is limited. I mean, to have a Mega Evolution, it needs to have a connection to its trainer. But that's kind of unfair in a way, because a lot of Pokemon, depending on who the trainer is, could have amazing relationships with their Pokemon. I mean, if I was to say for it, I'd say Rattata or Raticate, if anyone uses them. I know a few people have used them, but I know that people who have used Pokemon like that, from like beginning till like halfway through the game and then maybe just stopped, it's one of those things that just doesn't make sense. Why is it only specific Pokemon get Mega Evolutions? What about them makes them special compared to other Pokemon? I mean, I've looked, but I've never really seen anything that really properly explains how Mega Evolution just came to be. I ain't sure there was an episode about it or something like that, but it messes with the entire history. I mean, it says, it's like it's something really far back in the past. Okay, so it was in the past, but it's only just appeared now. And why is it only some Pokemon get affected, but they've only been affected up until now? It's the annoying part that I find about it is that it's a new concept that's been thrown in there into a history that already doesn't make much sense because there are so many different varieties of it. It changes so much, which is really irritating. I mean, there are so many different pasts. I mean, from what you've seen in that, I mean, that's what I just find annoying in that is just that they leave so many large plot holes, but because the audience is for children, it makes it kind of boring and annoying. I mean, seriously, it's filled with more plot holes than you get potholes in a road after winter. It's really irritating to me that, yes, sure, it's set for a specific audience, Pokemon is, but their idea behind it, it's just, I just don't feel it works. I mean, I have slowly been losing interest in Pokemon for a long while now, because there's nothing new in the games. I mean, there are a lot of concepts in games nowadays that make them look a lot cooler, like character customization. Character customization is a thing that I really like, and in a lot of games, especially Pokemon games, you haven't really been able to customize your character. I mean, when like clothing came out that you could buy, it still felt rather limited in a way, because I don't want to just change my character's clothing. I want to change my character as well as more than just hairstyles as well. I mean, I want to make a character that's, I won't say unique to me, but I mean like something that I can just look at and say, okay, I like the look of it. But another thing that the most thing annoying it, and it's linked mostly with Mega Evolution, is the new concepts that that people keep creating, but leaving plot holes in where they really fit. Because if they existed in the past, and that means that there are Megastones in Kanto, Hoenn, Johto. I know I did that out wrong order. I kind of forgot Johto's name for a second. And so forth. There are Megastones everywhere, which means that, which essentially is what it's saying, or should be saying. But if that's so, and you see a lot of archaeology, how was it the word now? Archaeology, like, screw it, just a lot of sites for archaeology that should have uncovered Megastones, but haven't. And maybe some of them have. Maybe they're similar to the fossil Pokemon. But what I want to see in Pokemon that will make the interest in it work would be something new, something they haven't done before. Whether they extend the storyline massively compared to what they normally have, or if they do something like, I don't know, go back and let you go back in time. Oh, excuse me, got a bit of a cough. Well, that would be a nice thing on that. I mean, you get Arceus, you've got Dialga, you've got essentially gods in the Pokemon world, and you've got them in a tiny ball that fits in the palm of your hand. Wouldn't it be cool if you could go back in time? Like, something happens where someone creates a time machine. Like, it's a special event kind of thing. I don't know. Like, you have to bring a Dialga from Diamond or Platinum and trade it over through the transfer thing over to to the new game or something like that. And you go back in time using Dialga's powers to stop some idiot who's in the only time machine in existence, to make him king of the Pokemon world. Now, that would be an interesting storyline. Another interesting story, or a really cool event. That would be cool. Give you something a bit better to do. But I would be surprised if they did something like that and they made it an entirely new game. Where I would like to play a Pokemon game where, because like in Platinum, you got to go into the world of, I forgot his name now, Giratina. But you don't really get that when you fight against Dialga or Palkia. If you could do that with them too, that'd be pretty cool. It's just, I kind of wish that there were some points in Pokemon where they went a bit further with it, like creating events that could only be activated with certain Pokemon. Like, you could find the people that you talk to throughout the entire storyline, but you don't get the ability to get the Pokemon that you want or anything like that until you complete the game. So you can't activate any of these events until after you completed the Pokemon story. But make the Pokemon story at least a bit different. I mean, sure, you've got to go from gym leader to gym leader like that to, like, I don't know, just to like get all the badges, but I know there isn't really much else you could do to change the storyline of that. But I mean, you've got so many new bad guys coming in. What if you made it so that there was, like, I don't know, like 3 different bad guys all fighting against each other, and you've got to try and stop, like, one of them does something stupid, and you've ended up, like, working together with 2 of the others. Like, can you imagine if you were working together with Team Rocket, that hilariously only ever made an appearance in Pokemon Yellow? They don't make an appearance anywhere else. The original 3, Jesse, James, and Meowth, which I find sucks because they didn't create any other games like Pokemon Yellow, which had a better storyline than the others, because you knew who you were going to fight against because it was obvious. But that obviousness made it so much better because you're like, yes, I don't have to just fight these stupid grunts and then have it done. I get a fight straight afterwards where I like fight the main bad guys. It's not just a bunch of grunts doing whatever they're told to and not really having a leader. That every little thing is not done just by grunts, it's done by a set of people on that. And Cassie and Butch would be pretty cool to appear in a Pokemon game as well. But Mega Evolution, it never really fully got my attention. I mean, sure, I used it, but I only used it for the hell of it because that's just funny. Didn't use it for really strategy or anything like that. Like, I wouldn't like. I just didn't use any in battles at all. I just went with Pokemon and that. It's all a thing with natures and stuff like that. It's just like when they brought that stuff out, and when I first heard about it, I knew instantly that, well, this was going to happen because it was obvious. People were going to attack the whole system by making Pokemon perfect. So EVs and IVs, I really didn't like at all because it just made everything a contest, made things harder for some people because some people just wanted to play the game, and then with a party that they'd spent that entire time through the game making as good best as they could, then fight against other people to say, this is what I've done while working through the storyline, I want to see how well it does against other trainers. You can't really do that because, for all you know, you could go up against a guy using a freaking a stupid Pachirisu that could beat a Garchomp, even though it has weaknesses against Garchomp's attacks. It's hilarious that people have created some of these things and stuff like that. I mean, but at the same time, it's also really unfair because some people don't understand Pokemon games at all. I mean, at all. The amount of times I've been asked by people, whether it's one of my brothers or if it's something else, is that how do I do this? How do I do that? Where do I go next? A lot of people ask that question. Some people are just too lazy to really look for it themselves. Other people are just too dumb to really figure it out themselves. And it's surprising because it's so easy. And then others just, well, they just ask the questions because they just need the help. They are somewhere between the too lazy to really look for it, but also I could say that, yeah, there's also the Google generation where people, when they can't find anything or where something is, they will literally just Google it. But that's not that bad. I mean, at least they're not constantly asking people. And half the time when somebody asks me something now, I just say Google it. I'm getting sick of helping people in Pokemon games because they're too easy. That's the number one thing I hate about Pokemon games. They're too predictable. I mean, it's not the storyline. It's because the storyline is the same. Everything is essentially the same. That it just becomes obvious where to go. I mean, using the town map, I could get around the entire place easily myself. I don't even need to use Flash in the original Pokemon games to get through the cavern to get to Lavender Town. I know it all too well that I just don't need it. I don't need the help. I want to play a Pokemon game now that's difficult to do, because other than catching specific Pokemon, the storyline is just too easy. If it's going to be the same way through there, not making any changes, it's just, a lot of people are just going to get bored of it. I mean, could they at least add a difficulty setting to it? That'd be fun. Oh yeah. I'm getting level 20s with level 20s, and yet somehow it's like I'm fighting level 30s. Yeah, that would be fun. Just getting absolutely owned by a level 20 Pokemon trainer, because I need Pokemon that are a lot higher level. I mean, even level 100 it'd be hard because I would have to use strategy. Sure, some people might find it like that, but at least that would give some difficulty to a storyline, which is so easy that I just don't want to play. I mean, the new games, Sun and Moon, that are coming out, I've had a look at what's out so far about them and that. I'm not impressed. I'm probably not going to buy them. I'm probably going to stop buying Pokemon games and that, and probably just start playing the older ones. I still have most of the older ones. I'm just going to go back to playing them. I cannot play Pokemon games anymore that have been made with all these stupid things like Mega Evolution. And they say Mega Evolution isn't taken from Digimon, but it is. The whole concept is the same. Although I can say that there are things about Digimon Tri that annoy me now about Digimon and their and them Digimon into Mega, because, well, they shouldn't really be able to, because there's now a really large plot hole explaining how the hell that they're actually Digimon into Mega. And that is, they haven't been able to Digivolve any higher because they don't have the crests. Ogremon and Gabumon are the only ones that are able to, because they were given that power by a higher authority, but the rest of them haven't. So, what's going on there? I mean, for now, people just, they have a lot of things to say. Some people say stupid things, other people would say things that they don't really think about first when they say it, and I'm sure you could put them in the same place, but the stupid people are the people that know what they're doing and say the complete stupidest things. So they know what they're on about. They just are idiots. For games to be enjoyable, they have to change. Mega Evolution wasn't a good change, in my opinion, at all, ever. It really wasn't. It just sounded too cheap. I'm a bigger fan of Digimon than I am of Pokemon, but I've played all the Pokemon games all the way through, and played very little of Digimon games because very few of them actually came out. I mean, I literally had stopped playing Digimon games for a really long while until I found Digimon World Dusk and Dawn. And I got Dusk because, I don't know, I just liked the Digimon on that one better than I liked the other one, but either way, I'm kind of glad that I got Dusk because it feels pretty good now because of what happens on Cyber Sleuth. So I'm happy with that. But I can't say that I'm ever going to enjoy a Pokemon game. There's nothing about them that's difficult, ever. Digimon games, they have difficulties that are held apart by it, and at least their Mega Evolutions make sense because they came out first. I just realised, look at my glasses, the screen looks really like two pupils, but yeah, oh. Mega Evolution was bad. Digimon, it was good for. Pokemon, it was bad for. Yes, no matter what people say, the exact concepts are the same. Feelings and so forth. I mean, Digimon didn't really need that in total to Digivolve to Mega. It just took a ridiculously long time for most of them. But for tamers and stuff like that to get it, which is the same thing for trainers and Pokemon, combining they're the same, exactly the same. And out of the two of them, well, I'm going to continue doing Mega Evolution versus Mega Evolution fights because, in my head, they're terrible. I know Digimon are going to win. I mean, hell, I could do any Mega Digimon. And like seriously, this people who watch my videos, if anyone watches my videos at all, don't care how many views I get so far, comment please an idea, because that's the one thing is I could continue to do videos and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna have to go by my own initiative. I want people, if they at least even gets 1 or 2 views, to at least comment so that I could maybe do something that they want me to do. I could do any Mega Digimon and any Mega Evolved Pokemon, and I will fight them together, but they have to be same type. Like, I don't know, Water and Aqua Digimon and that, and so forth. You cannot put an advantage, say, to Pokemon just because it seems like a good idea at the time. So I want smart ideas and smart stuff like that. Just even if just one comment, an idea behind it. That's it. That's all I want. So that's me, Akito93 signing out. Have fun and see you.